everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a little different style video. This is just going to be artwork only. I did one other before like this, so I hope you guys can enjoy it. This is my client's birthday nails. She came in, she's like, I don't know if you can do this, and I felt like it was a challenge, so I did it. I feel good about it. So you have to try something new sometimes. So I had already filed off her previous design, prepped them, filled the nails, shaped them, everything. If you want to see how I do that, there's plenty of videos. Just look for these same hands. Now these are her natural nails, so yes, they twist, turn, and everything like that naturally, so be nice. So I'm using the Bambina liner, gel liner by Presto. And I'm using a reference from Google of the style of numbers she wants, because there's different style of Old English numbers. And I'm using this charcoal pencil. The reason I'm using, you can use graphite also, but I like the charcoal because it's softer, it's easier to draw and write on the nails, and it's removed very easily. Graphite is too, and these were going to be black, so the darkness didn't really matter. You can also use a white charcoal, and I'll have another video showing how I use a white charcoal, because some designs you don't want it that dark. But this charcoal will work absolutely fine. And you see the nails are not top coated or anything. If need be, you could do a matte top coat or just leave them like this, just buffed and ready to go. The reason you want them either just buffed or with a matte top coat is because it can hold on to the texture. It's a little more similar to like paper or a canvas, or any type of drawing paper would be. So it's easier to draw on the nail when they're matte or have that buffed texture. So as I said, I Googled a picture of the numbers to see the style that my client preferred. There's all different styles of Old English type fonts with different little variations in how they're drawn. So I found a style that she liked, we agreed on. So I am using the nails, placing them next to each other to make sure that the size of the numbers is pretty similar. I didn't want to, carry one too big, too small. The issue that came up with the set she had is because she has two different shapes and the stiletto is much more narrow. So I actually kind of had to make the last two digits a little bigger so it'll look more proportionate because it's so slender. So that kind of helped visually with the balance. So you can see I'm going on doing a little time lapse for you guys, and it's just the same thing. I'm just drawing with this graphite pencil and making it look the best I can and making sure they're all measured out and proportionate. And don't worry, you see I filled it in some places just to kind of, get my shape together. So these are the letters we chose to go with. And she wanted all lowercase, which is probably the proper way to write. And so again, I picked a font out that she liked and did them accordingly, just kind of visually looking at it and making sure they're proportionate to the numbers as well. So I'm going in with this Presto Bambina gel paint. And since it is a gel, it is going to be cured in the light. And I believe it's LED and UV. And I do 2 coats of each letter or number just to get the opacity that I need. And only for that sharp line that goes through the S did I use an actual liner brush. And for that, I use the Wildflowers blue liner brush that I use pretty much all the time when I do artwork. And so I'm just filling them in. Some of them I'm making little minor adjustments to my pencil drawings just to make sure it's really accurate and looks exactly how I want it to look. So on the 3, I redid it, and on this one I kind of changed it ever so slightly from how the drawing originally was. And again, 2 coats. I really like these gel paints. I have the black and the white, but they come in many colors. They also come in metallics. I usually disperse them onto a form or like a tile, and use them with my Wildflowers liner brush. But since we're doing a bigger piece of art, I can use this brush just fine that it comes with. So it's really good for filling in, but also doing fine work also, but not super fine work, if that makes sense. So I did a little time lapse. All I'm doing again is just filling them in. And this is the one that I used the liner just to make sure that line going diagonally through it was very crisp and sharp. So after I cure it in the light, after each layer, I go ahead and take a wipe and wipe the nail down with either acetone or alcohol, just to remove any of the excess charcoal pencil and clean it up and make it look all nice and pretty. So you can see, I'm just showing you I'm wiping it off, and it all comes off just fine. And then we're ready for top coat, either shiny or matte. So we chose to go matte. I'm using the Daily Charm Velvet Matte Gel Top Coat. It is my favorite top coat at this point in time. I really like it. It's really matte, really easy to use, cures in the Sun UV lamp that I have, and I'd imagine that it would do good in several different lamps. And so it lasts so great. So I'm just top coating. We decided to go matte with all of them, even the crystal nails. And I really like how it looked in the end. And if you're curious, the color that she has on, it's the color I always use. It's the Light Elegance Cosmetic Pink Builder Gel. These are Builder Gel nails, in case you're curious. So next I'm using the Daily Charm Stick-On Gel Crystal Glue to adhere the crystals. You can also use Ugly Duckling Stick It or Nailed by John's Herpes Gel or any other crystal gel of your choosing. So I'm using a wax stick and I'm applying Swarovski crystals in sizes 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12. You want to use an adequate amount of the crystal gel so that it seeps over the edges of the crystals, and that'll kind of form a prong setting, because the crystal gel is not air dried like resin glue. So you have to make sure that it physically holds the crystals in, because with a regular resin or nail glue is a chemical setting and this is not. So I just kind of freestyled this design, and I also did the designs kind of similar on the thumb, on both of the thumbs, but a design towards the top. So next I'm going to be using this No Wipe top coat from Joya Mia, and I'm going to seal around the crystals, never on top of them, just around the edges. If you go over your crystals, you're going to kill the facets in them and they won't sparkle anymore. So always around and in between, not on. So the reason that I use the shiny top coat to seal in between the crystals and around them is so that the stones aren't dulled by the matte top coat. If you do all that with matte top coat, they're just going to be dull, and you're going to see the edge everywhere you drew the matte top coat. You're going to see it. So I'm going in with the matte top coat now, and I'm going right on the exterior edge of the crystals, not in between them and not bumped up right by them. And I'll take a little liner brush and get even closer, but again, do not touch the stones. So this is our final look. I really appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this style of video. Go ahead and wish my client a very happy birthday. She probably has the most famous hands on all my social media, so I really appreciate her always being my model. So you guys don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe and comment below. Thank you guys for watching.